The kind of guy that you have a steak and you want steak sauce.
Who did? Oh, yeah.
I hope you guys got fed enough today, and I hope you got spiritually fed this morning. I know probably some of y'all listening to Pastor's message probably didn't think it applied much to you. I don't know, but I'm gonna talk about there's three ways to give to God. Your tithes, your offering, and your alms. I was thinking about you guys when he was talking. I was thinking, there's probably a lot of people here that really don't make a lot of money, so they don't, have a lot of tithes to give. But more than that, preacher said, Pastor Wilkerson said, God doesn't need your money. And that's true, and God doesn't need your money, but he also doesn't need you to serve him, but God wants you to serve him, and God wants you to give to him, not because he needs your money, but because he wants your heart, and he wants your service. I'm going to talk about Jeremiah 17:8. It has nothing to do with the message this morning. I just wanted to add that, and I'm not trying to add to Pastor Wilkerson's message, but I was just thinking about that. Jeremiah 17, I'm actually going to start in verse 7. It says, "Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is." Verse 8, "For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaves shall be green. Shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit." The thought I want to talk to you about this afternoon is, what is your hope? What are you hoping in? What is your when you look at your day, what do you think of as what are you looking forward to in the day? What are you looking forward to in the week? Are you looking forward to is your hope a cigarette when you get off the bus? Are you looking forward to having another cigarette, or just pleasing the flesh? Is your hope the next meal you might eat? I like eating, and a lot of times I'll be having a rough day, and like one of the things that's on my mind is just the next meal, stuff in my face. But is your hope the next fifth that you can hustle up some money for? The next alcohol you can hustle up some money for? Is your hope a comfortable place to sleep tonight? Is that what you're looking forward to? Is having a comfortable place to sleep tonight? I just want to challenge you. We all have different things that we live for and that motivate us. But Jeremiah 17:7 says, 17:7 says, "Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is." So what it's saying is, if you want to be blessed by God, God will bless you when your hope is him. When you look forward to serving God, and when your delight is in God, and when your hope is God. When that's what motivates you, when that's your lifeline, when that's what you eat, breathe, and sleep, when that's what you think about throughout the day, you can be at PGM or St. Franciscan's, or you can be sleeping under a bridge somewhere, and your hope can be in the Lord. Your hope, you don't have to be in a certain place to have your hope in the Lord. You can be where you're at and still still find encouragement in the Lord and find motivation in the Lord. And really, if you think about it, the only reason we're on this planet is because of God, and it's for God. What you choose to do with your life is your choice. God doesn't need you, but God wants you, and God gave His Son for you, and that's why. That's why. That's why God gave His Son for you, is that so that you could have hope, and that you would know that. Ephesians 2:12. I'm going to turn there real quick. Ephesians 2:12. When I think of one of the things that motivates me now, before when I was on the street and before when I was homeless, and my hope was in the next high, and my hope was in using drugs and methamphetamine. My hope was in the next cigarette. My hope was in the next thing to satisfy me. My hope was in what money I could hustle up or make to get my next fix. My hope was the next time I was homeless during the winter and I slept in a tent, so my hope would be, finding the next warm place to hang out and border, or, hang around until they told me I couldn't hang around there anymore, whatever. But one of the things that the conclusions I came to in my own life, and I don't like using myself as an example a lot of times, but honestly, that's the only thing that I really know, is what I think and how I think, and what God has done for me in my life. So that's why I reflect on myself sometimes, because that's the only thing that I truly know, is myself and God, what God's done for me. So sometimes that's, for lack of a better example, that's what I use. But when I was, in a hopeless state, I kind of came to the conclusion that without God, nothing makes sense, and without God, nothing fits. Without God in the equation, if you take God out of the equation, for one, how did we get here? For another, what's your purpose? There's no purpose without God. This life is just, there's no God's. What's that? You have to what? And God wants you to be like Him. But Ephesians 2:12 talks about, it says that at that time you were without Christ. This is talking about before you received Christ. I think most of you guys on this bus are saved. I don't know your hearts. But I think if I were to ask for a raise of hands or come to you each individually, I think most of you would probably profess that you believe God, or that you believe in God, and you would probably say that you're saved. I don't know. But anyway, Ephesians 2:12 says that at that time you were without Christ, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without God in the world. So Paul right here is writing to the Ephesians, and he's actually talking to Gentiles. He's talking about before they were grafted in, before God opened salvation to the Gentiles by Jesus dying on the cross. You had no hope. And we can look at that in our lives today. Before Jesus, without Jesus, there is no hope. Without the hope of Jesus, there is no hope. It also says in 1 Thessalonians 4:13. I'm sorry, my notes are kind of everywhere. It says in 1 Thessalonians 4:13, this is another verse that just talks about having no hope without salvation, without God. There is no hope. I mean, it doesn't matter what you consider your hope to be, or your motivation to be, really. Without God, what you consider your hope is really just meaningless and pointless. It's a pointless existence without God. So First Thessalonians 4:13 says, "But I would not have you be ignorant, but I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that sorrow not, even as others which have no hope." That's just another verse that I found talking about not having hope without God. This is the thought I kind of want to leave you with. Like I said, I do think most of you guys have probably trusted in Jesus at one time in your life. You don't have to be perfect after you've trusted God to save you, because if we had to be perfect after we trusted God to save us, then we'd all be going to hell, and salvation would be pointless. Jesus dying on the cross would be pointless. So you don't have to be perfect. I believe that most of you have probably trusted Jesus at one point. But for those of you that haven't, and that maybe feel uncomfortable when people talk about death, or when people talk about the judgment of God one day, I'd like to ask you, deep in your heart, is there an uncomfortable feeling when you're around preaching, or are you not sure that you're going to heaven? Are you ready for Jesus to come back, or are you scared of death? Do you have that hope in Jesus? Is your hope in Jesus, or are you uncomfortable when it comes to death? Do you not have a hope after death? And I'll just close with the verse again. Blessed is the man that trusted in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. So I hope that was an encouragement to those of you that have trusted in God and whose hope is in the Lord. But I also would like to challenge those of you that aren't, for sure that you're going to heaven, and for sure that your hope is in the Lord. The Bible talks about that blessed hope that we have who are saved at the end of time. The blessed hope, the blessed assurance. But I'd like to challenge you that aren't saved and that don't know Jesus, and that haven't accepted Jesus, haven't accepted the free gift of salvation. If you just pray in your heart and believe that Jesus died for you, and to believe that his blood paid for your sins, it was the ultimate sacrifice. I'd like to challenge you to do that today. That's one of the main reasons that we're even trying to reach out into the world and into the community, is to share with you the hope that those of us that are saved have been given by God. I'd just like to close with prayer, if I could, and dear Lord, we come to you today, this afternoon, and thank you for the lunch that we were able to have, God, and that was provided for you by the church, God. Thank you for Brother Herman, and thank you for other bus drivers who have dedicated their time to pick up people and to bring them to church, God. Thank you for loving us first, so that we could love you, Lord, and giving your Son for us, so that we can have a hope, God, and have hope in you, God. Help us to have a good day, and to not forget that life is all about you, God, and it's not about us, and it's not about what we can get, or it's not about feeling good, or God, just help us to realize that you are the only hope, and help us to draw closer to you, God, in Jesus' name.